What's up, everybody? It's your favorite stubborn bot's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at Maketoys Ironwill, which is their hard head stubborn bot hard head. Stop it, you. Let's go. Let's talk about the guns here, which are 3 accessories, apart from a plug-in piece, which we'll talk about at a later point in time. You got this piece that slides up into that notch there. It articulates here. They did put a piece of translucent plastic in there, but not a lick of paint. And it's an awfully big canvas, and I put a lick of paint on, I must say. Guns, they slide into the typical Maketoys tab. They work fine, and they articulate here. We did get some paint on there, which does look nice, and they are identical. So that's that. We did get one extra bit of business, which we'll talk about in a second. It's this face piece, but we'll get there, okay? Trust me. Let's talk about the articulation. The head, there is something off about the head to me. Just that look, this particular look, and we'll talk about the other one in a minute. And I feel like there's some places in there where paint could have gone that didn't go, and that's also a missed opportunity. But it's the swivel, and then it's the typical Fans Project Maketoys connection port, which hinges up so you can look down, and that's a nice touch because it's a big bot, and it's nice to have a big bot be able to look down. So I'm a big fan of that, but you don't get much upward movement as a result. You do get this piece that comes open so you can see the stats inside if that's a big deal for you. Chest, we got 2 different types of plastic, this brown and then this green, and then on the green we have the darker paint here, and I think that's a separate piece of plastic there. The paint looks good though. I wish they'd use more paint because when they use it, it looks great. They do a good job painting figures. I wish they weren't afraid to paint more. Shoulders, we got a swivel here attached to a hinge to get you the whole gambit. You really don't want, I mean, it destroys the sculpt to get that extreme angle, but you can get all the way out to there and it looks fine. It's just on a pin though, so that does kind of worry me. I feel like those probably should have been ratcheted somehow, some way. Bicep swivel, that works fine. No, it's a double joint, right? No, it's not. Oh, yes it is. Double jointed elbow, there and there. Get you the whole spread. It looks silly at this single hinge, but it's not the worst thing in the world. For me, it's okay. Completely doesn't bother me at all. Wrist swivel, fingers articulated on a pin at the base knuckle, so that's fine. Rubber treads, I guess we'll talk about that a little bit later on. They're really nice though. Backpack, pretty clean. Waist swivel works fine. Pelvis, we have yellow plastic and translucent plastic in the place of paint, which I'm okay with. Breaks it up nicely and it ends up looking alright. Silver paint there on the thigh, done beautifully. Just like the paint that's done there and elsewhere. And I feel down here, for instance, and I just feel like they should get in the habit of using it more. Some brilliant ratchets in the hips. I know it destroys my sound quality sometimes, so I wanted to say that first. But side, notches aren't too big. Forward and back, pretty good. Knees, it's funny, they bothered me in pictures and stuff. In hand, they don't bother me at all. They're on a single soft ratchet, and I think they work fine. Thigh swivel is built into the universal joint. More of an anatomically correct thigh swivel than anything else, but it still works okay. Treads in the front look good. These little color breakup on the side look good. Feet, we got a heel spur here, and then you get a little bit of a tilt, not much, and then a solid rocker. So all in all, pretty decent bot indeed. Let's talk about the head. So just pull the legs out. When you pull the back forward, it moves this to cover up the face, which is kind of something that I think Fans Project and Maketoys kind of prided themselves on, and I can dig it. Head, we got yellow paint on there and orange paint on the eyes. No, that's translucent plastic from the back. Ball peg shoulders that get you up to there, forward and around, and then you got a single pinned hinged elbow forward and back, and then the thighs are on ball joints. This one they do tend to pop off if you try to push them too far because the articulation is pretty limited, just pretty much out to there. Forward to there is no problem, and then the knee gets you the whole spread. We got a little bit of oh, this goes, I feel like, there you go. green paint on the legs there. So all in all, pretty cool for what it is. Now, to take this piece off here, pretty simple. Just untab, take this piece, tab it in. And size comparison wise, there he is next to Maketoys Chrome Dome. Looking good together, but I almost wish that Hard Head was a bit bigger. But they do look good together. And there he is with ToyWorld's Hard Head. So, and I know some people don't like ToyWorld's Hard Head in general, I think, but I always liked him. But I will be getting rid of him now and keeping this one. So let's get started. Hands, one of our favorite transformations of hands. Open that up, tuck that in, close it back down. Same for the other side. Close it back down. Make sure your arms are out. Mine usually are from manipulating the figure. And then collapse these sections here. Push these pieces up. Flip these pieces out. They tab back in. Fold the feet in. Open these up. Bring the legs out. Open this piece up here. Bring this piece down. Push that piece up. From the back, flip this open. Close this up. Take this piece, spin it around to there, and then slide that piece back down. Let's do that whole thing in one take on this leg. So open this piece up. Rotate out. Slide this up. Move the arm out of the way. On the back, flip this piece down. Close this up. Bring the foot around. Slide that down. You can remove the head. Open this piece up. You have to manipulate these shoulders to get this piece to tab in to that. Slide this piece up, which does give me an issue from time to time. Now you actually have to reattach the weapon here. And mine doesn't fit extremely well. It goes in, it just takes some loving. So turn this around to keep it out of the way, and then open that up and slide this piece all the way down to this end. Take this piece here, is on a double hinge, bring it down, fold it around. Now, this has to tab into the side of this, and then the arm piece, make sure that the gray is up like that, which will line up the treads for you so that it plugs into the side there, and that solidifies that. So one more on the other side. This piece, I'm sorry, I'm not letting you see anything, am I? Untab, bring down, come around, tab in, make sure that this gray is up on the underside, tuck tightly against, plug in, and it should go together like butter, baby. Bring this back bumper down and around, and it plugs into there, and the same on the other side, into there. Make sure likewise that your pieces here are plugged into there and there. Then manipulate this 180. And at that point, you can lock down that right there. And then you have this. And you can take your guns, and you can store one here, and you can store one here, I believe. And now he's armed up. You can open this. I wonder if it wouldn't be better to try. Yeah, that's a lot better. You can open up his canopy here, and it does open up a lot more if you take that out. And then you can take your headmaster and just sort of let him have a seat up in there, and you're in service. It's beefy, you know, as it should be. It's a big beefy brick. Instructions wise, which is what I followed, I wish that they would tell you to turn this before you try to connect all this and stuff, just because it makes it a lot easier. And mine's still, like, this sliding thing here is still not sitting 100% flush for me. But whatever. Also, there is a bit of a gimmick inside where it's like a location for the alternative face. Like if you take this guy out, there's a little slot in the back here. I'll just try to show you. Back in there where the alternate face can sit. However, I tried it. They show pictures of it with the masked face. I tried to put the unmasked face back there, and it popped off this piece, which was glued on. So it didn't seem like it fit well, and I tried to force it, and well, that's what you get. Just needs to be re-glued. But outside of that, it's awesome. I love the tank mode a lot. You get some articulation there, and you would get more here if you put it in the other side. And then this one, of course, you get the full up and to the side and all that kind of stuff. The treads, they roll. You know, they're not going to roll well on my mat, but they do roll. Underside looks pretty good. You know, so overall, I think it's a pretty good translation. I'm okay with it. With, of course, tiger tracks. So just to give you an idea. But I like it. I think that the color breakup looks good. Like the orange translucent plastics work well. I mean, Hard Head's alt mode isn't like a beautiful thing anyway. And for what this is, I think it accomplishes it fairly well.
Just like you, Daddy.
Huh? What'd she say?
Just like you, Daddy.
That's what I thought she said. What do you mean by that?
You're a pretty good dad, but you don't look like much.
No, you didn't. Just... Final thoughts wise, I'd be lying to you if I said I was impressed by this, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just there's like a few weird things. Like there's a few weird tolerance things when you're transforming it. It doesn't have the same explode and come back together that Maketoys has been doing with their masterpieces, and yet it still finds a way to kind of not be fun. It seems like it would be harder for it to achieve that than not. But if it's just a messy transformation. Also, there's tolerance issues. There's tolerance issues with the way that things move, the way that things move around, the way that things move. This sliding mechanism here being one of them. This piece here, and then like I can't get my chest to plug back in properly. Now maybe that's a operator error kind of thing. I'm not willing to say that that's not an opportunity or a possibility rather. But still, it just seems like there's something missing there. And then the only other issue that I have with it is that there's a lot of posability with this guy at the expense of sculpt. Now, some might chalk that up to the cost of doing business, and I might very well agree with them, but I wouldn't be me if I didn't point it out. I think that Maketoys once again nails the action figure element. Like, it's really fun to get him into poses, and he lends himself to cool poses fairly well. I think the accessories are good. I think that the extra face is a nice touch, that it gives us the option, you know, whether you want the more American or Japanese kind of release of the character as far as the animation's concerned. The ratchets are great. The materials are great. The paint where it is applied well, but I wish they begin to the habit of doing it more because they're doing it well. And it's not every company that's doing the paint well. I got news for you, but they're nailing it. Like, that's really well applied paint. There's die cast in this guy. He's weighty, he's beefy, he's blocky, he's good. You may think he's too big. I don't. If you think he's too big, there's nothing here that's really going to fix that for you. It's just kind of going to be the cost of doing business with this fella, I'm afraid. But is he worth the price? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you. He's worth it to me. Like, I think that he'll be my definitive hard head unless, like, Fanstoys does it, which I might give a shot, or Takara. But outside of that, it's fair. And I think that Maketoys is constantly getting better, and I think that they're one of the best companies in the game right now. I think that they're probably the second best company making Masterpiece scaled figures in the third-party community. But I still think they got a few more hurdles to get past to be the greatest, and we haven't done that here. But that doesn't mean that it's a bad figure. It's a good figure. It's just awfully pricey, and there's still a fair amount of kind of weird things going on. But not a bad figure, not by any stretch of the imagination. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.